Before we start, there is one thing you need to learn, and that is what is bank 1 and bank 2. If you have V-shaped engine, most of this data you will see two times, one for engine head number 1, which is bank 1, and second for engine head number 2, which is bank 2. Okay, let's start with fuel system status. You want to see closed loop. That is good. That means that engine is running based on parameters sent from the sensors. So ECU takes into consideration data from oxygen sensors, pressure sensors, all other sensors to craft the perfect air and fuel mixture. If you see open loop, some of your sensors are not working, and ECU is determining air and fuel mixture just from the learned parameters. Calculated load value is basically how much work is your engine doing, and that is calculated directly from your gas pedal. If I press the gas pedal all the way, we should see something close to 100. Okay, close enough. Engine coolant temperature, everyone knows that. Usually you have it on your dashboard and you can see it right here. Then one of the most important parameters are the fuel trims, short term and long term. Basically this is adjustment of fuel amount. If you see 25%, it means that engine is using extra 25% of fuel, which is not good. For short term fuel trim you want to see value from -10 to +10%. Everything lower or higher means there is problem with the engine. So why is our engine using more fuel? I think that it is because we have vacuum leak. So we have more air coming into the engine, and that's why the ECU is compensating it with extra fuel. One easy test to see if you have vacuum leak or not is press the gas pedal, and then if the value drops close to 0, you can be sure you have vacuum leak. So let's try that. And I have a whole separate video explaining fuel trims, which I will link either up here, or if you are watching in the course, it will be in course lesson description. Okay, so what is the difference between short-term and long-term fuel trim? Basically, short-term makes quick adjustments, and once your ECU see that you need to always run on more amount of fuel, the long-term fuel trim will then make permanent long-term correction. Then we have intake manifold absolute pressure, so pressure in your intake manifold. We can see with gas pedal open we got more pressure in our intake manifold. Then we have the RPM, same like the coolant temperature that you simply can watch on your dashboard. Vehicle speed, so speed of your vehicle of course. Ignition timing advance. You always want to see positive value, because if you see negative value, that means you have timing retardation, and that basically means that your spark plug is firing late. You want to always see positive value. Okay, absolute throttle position. Once again, how much your gas pedal is pressed. Let's see if we can get it to 100. Then we have oxygen sensor bank 1 and oxygen sensor bank 2. So if you have gasoline vehicle, for each catalytic converter you will have at least 2 oxygen sensor. One before, then you have converter, and then this one sensor after the converter. Here you can see sensor number 1. B1 means bank 1. The voltage is fluctuating from 0.1 to maybe 0.9 volts. To demonstrate this better, I will open the live data graph. So for correctly working oxygen sensor, you want to see very similar behavior. So oxygen sensor voltage is always fluctuating, and that is because your car should always fluctuate from lean to rich condition, which is healthy for your catalytic converter. You never want your car to be running only rich or only lean. So this is correct behavior of oxygen sensor. On newer vehicles you can see air to fuel sensors instead of oxygen sensor, and they will behave a little bit differently. I will show you that on my Toyota now. Now when you check oxygen sensor data on car with air to fuel sensor instead of oxygen sensor, you will see a little bit different values, but the principle is the same. Before we were in the Punto, on the lower end of the voltage you had lean condition, and higher voltage meant rich condition. If you are in Toyota, it is exactly other way around. First of all, you need to find out where is the lean and the rich. So you need to step on the pedal, and when you let pedal go, the value should jump to lean condition. So in this case to the top, let go of the gas pedal. See, it will get lean for the second and then return to normal value. So this is the great way how you can find out where is the lean and rich condition, because every car model can have it set up differently. Now you can also check the equivalence ratio, which is basically the same thing. If the air to fuel ratio is perfect, it will show 1.000. The lean condition will be around 1.2 and rich condition will be around 0.8. Now I will drop the gas pedal. See, we see lean. Now a little bit rich and get back to 1. You can have multiple data for oxygen sensor, you can have voltage and also the current. But if you look at the graph, all of these values will act exactly the same. So it doesn't matter which value you choose, you can check in which condition is your engine operating, rich or lean, with using any of these data, equivalence ratio, oxygen sensor voltage, or even oxygen sensor current, or even lambda value. Every car can have different names for this data, but they all mean the same thing, if their car is running rich or lean. Now, if you are still confused about live data or using OBD2 scanner in general, I have a whole video course, link is in the description, go check it out.